Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's your old pal Mr. Butter coming back at you, and the Thunder Red 4s dropped today. Fortunately, I was able to reserve a pair for myself and also a GS pair for one of the kids, and then my other daughter actually went up with me and asked about unclaimed raffle pairs, and they had a extra GS pair that she was able to purchase. So two of the kids got a pair and I got a pair in my size, so I'm pretty happy with that. I had asked around on the channel if people were going to be going after these. Most of the time, if people said they weren't going for these, it was because they were concerned about the quality control issues, which I've seen some reviews of people talking about, like paint on the bubble and just messy paint on the midsole, glue on the nubuck and that sort of thing. And I guess a lot of people got pairs that look pretty sloppy. Well, I have all three pairs here, and I want to take a look at them and point out some of the QC issues that I found, and also, most importantly, go over my pair, which is the size 10.5, and see if that came out pretty clean or if it's just a mess. If you're into kicks and you feel like hanging out, then hit that subscribe button. Let's look at these Thunder Red 4s. The tag reads Air Jordan 4 Retro. The price tag came off the way they do sometimes when they're perforated like that, but the adult pair was $190. The kids pairs, the GS size pairs, were $140 each. This is a size 10.5. The colors are black, multicolor. So they don't really name a specific red, but there you have it. Just like the adult box, this is the size 7 grade school and the size 6.5 grade school. And real quick, I'll go ahead and start with this 6.5. So I want to be looking at three different things. I want to be looking at glue. I want to be looking at paint on the midsole, just how sloppy or clean it looks. And I want to be looking at the air bubble, because that's what I heard reported issues of. To start off, this is the size 6.5. So this is a GS pair. It was $140. And right off the bat, on the midsole back here, it looks like there's some gunk. And the paint is pretty sloppy. It's not terrible, but it's definitely not clean. And as you come around to the outside of the shoe, there you can see some black on the red paint. And then this area here where the red paint isn't supposed to be on this black section, it's just caked on there. And also, look at this air bubble. I don't know if you can pick that up or not, but there's just paint all over it. It's just really sloppy. As far as glue on this pair, well, and like up here, this paint, it just looks like they were rushed. It looks like they were really rushed. And there you can see a little bit of glue there. So this one has mostly issues with paint on the air bubble, and then the paint on the midsole is pretty sloppy, a little bit of glue here and there. But so that's the size 6.5. And then the size 7, I don't know if you'll be able to pick this up or not, but there's glue all over the whole side of it. And then there's glue down here, and there's glue all over the back of the midsole. But I don't know if the light can catch all the glue smears on this nubuck, but the air bubble on this one seems to be okay. But like this midsole, look at how sloppy all this is. And there's a lot of glue right up above it. Like there's glue all over this pair up on the nubuck. And just the midsole looks really sloppy. So that's the size 7 grade school pair. All right, but now I want to get on to the adult pair and we'll do the actual review. So, I don't see any glue on the upper of mine. The nubuck is nice, and for the most part, the paint looks pretty decent. So I'm really happy with that. Maybe I dodged a bullet. Maybe just the GS pairs are more sloppy than the adult pairs. The GS pairs are $140. Well, we get mids for $120, sometimes $130. You know, we pay $100 for dunks that have real, you're gambling every time you get a dunk, and you never know what kind of quality you're going to get. So, for these GS pairs at $140, I don't think it's a deal breaker. You know, the glue, the messy midsoles, because to be honest with you, I would have minded if it was on my pairs, but for the kids, they didn't notice any of that. They didn't say, oh, what is this on my shoe? Oh no, my air bubble isn't clear. Like you can see on this adult pair, this is clean as can be. And even the paint on the midsole on both pairs, or on both shoes, it looks good. There's a little mark here, but nothing major. But this air bubble is really just clear as can be. I mean, they look really good. And there is no glue. There's no glue up on the top. I would have cared if it was on this pair, but for the kids' pairs, it doesn't bother me that much. I mean, they didn't stop and say, ooh, look at this glue stain. And really, whenever they're wearing them, none of their friends are going to be like, oh, those are hideous. You know, I think most of their friends are probably going to be like, wow, those are dope. I wish I had a pair, you know? So anyhow, that's my little bit about the QC. The GS pairs both have issues. This adult pair is clean as clean can be. But anyhow, the upper is pretty much all black nubuck. I would compare it to the nubuck on the Oreo 5s. It looks nice. The stitching is all black and it's all neat and clean. You've got these vent areas that have the red material behind this black plastic netting. And then you've got these red accents up here going up the eye stays, and they look sharp too. The tongue is more of that black nubuck material, and at the top it's got that Jumpman tag with flight underneath. It's got your standard Jordan 4 outsole. I like that it's all blacked out aside from this point up here that's red up under the forefoot, and then this small white Jumpman on there. And then that black wraps up to the side and meets those red painted areas. And like I said, on this adult pair, they came out pretty well. Inside of the air bubble is white. And I actually like that little accent. I think that's pretty cool. Just makes it bright, you know? But you've got a white Jumpman on the back, and then the white Jumpman on the tongue, and that's pretty much all the white on the shoe. But then this nubuck, I really like this material. I think it feels nice. It feels just as good as the Lightning 4s did, but it's all black. You've got this plastic heel tab back here, and then these black plastic hits as well. The back has Air Jordan upside down, and that's red on the back of there. And then the sock liner and the insole is black. But I think a black and red Jordan 4, all day I'm going to go after them. And I'm pleased with how these came out. Let me know how yours did.